apologies. I'm seeing that my watch is not like that one in terms of time. All right. Let me greet the executive mayor,
Morning, Speaker.
deputy executive mayor, MMCs,
Morning, Speaker.
the impact chair, the opposition councillors, all of you, Dr. Ralph Links, our acting MM, Mangoba, our acting CFO, and the directors of our institution, all of them. I'm also greeting my whip of council. I thought I forgot him. Councillors, before we start, I would like us to open this special council meeting on the 28th of June 2024 with a prayer, understanding that we've got different religions and beliefs. So I would like us to bow our heads. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know when you woke up this morning, you prayed, but also when we are in these chambers, we must also pray. The attendance register is circulating.
Yeah, yeah, I'm listening, I'm not watching. I don't know.
Also greeting Mr. Namtu.
Mornings.
We can hear you loud and clear and your conversations.
Oh, sorry, dear. Sorry, speak.
Mute yourself. Also, we are online. Good morning to everybody who has got in virtually in this council meeting of today. Good morning to all of you. Point number 3, the application for leave of absence. None. I'm seeing all the councillors are here. Declaration of interest. Any councillor wants to declare? Yes,
there's an item under finance that I will have to recuse myself from. My place of worship listed there, and I can go as far as say I was a part of how it came together, so I cannot be a part of the voting or deciding about it.
Okay. Councillor Ndai?
Item under the Economic Development Planning Speaker, item it's C/6/146/06/24. Involve my property. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, councillors. That's what we want. Order of business, point number 5, the confirmation of minutes for previous meetings open. 5.1 minutes of the special council meeting dated 24th of May 2024. Minutes have been circulated. Herewith. Yes, Chair.
The minutes of the special council meeting held on Friday, 24th May 2024, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9.
Yes, Councillor.
Page 9, the results of the voting, there should be 5 against, not 4. And 1 was absent.
The corrections, yes. Thank you, Councillor.
Page 10, page 11, page 12, page 13, page 14, page 15, page 16, page 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and the attendance services on page 30, 31, and 32. That concludes the minutes for 24th of May.
Is that the true reflection of the minutes, Councillor? Councillor Pusago?
No, I stop.
The seconder? Councillor.
I will second it, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor. Thank you, Councillors. Right. We are on point number 6, statements and communications by the Executive Mayor.
Communication Speaker.
Thank you, Executive Mayor. And also on my side, none. Point number 7, presentation, none. Point number 8, items for information which have been delayed, have been dealt with by the Executive Mayor in item of delegated authority. Councillor Nell?
Mr. Speaker, I raised my hand too soon. I would want to raise a point of order when we get to the order of business itself. Those items we discussed now, just in terms of the items dealt with by the Executive Mayor. The next item I would like to raise in order of
Okay. So all those will be considered at the ordinary council meeting of July 2024. Point 9, noting of outstanding council resolutions also to be considered on the ordinary council meeting of July 2024. Point 10, consideration of reports, non-delegated matters circulated with. Yes, Councillor.
Speaker, I need to raise a point of order here. It has become now tradition and an institution that we receive our council agendas within, well, not within 24 hours, actually sometimes in an hour. There are critical items on our agenda today that we only received this morning. And in particular, the one item, which is the airport, which has been moved into in committee for some unthinkable reason, because it is the most publicly item of the most public interest in the whole of Bitou. And it is raising an extremely confusing issue, which the public definitely needs to know about. I want to propose, Speaker, that because it does not comply to the rules of order, we did not receive the 24-hour notice. there is no extreme urgency about this item, that we move this item on the airport to the next normal council meeting in the open agenda and not in the in-committee agenda where it does not belong.
Councillor Nel, the part that I am taking from you is that the agenda really is coming late to the councillors.
It is true.
Yes, that's what I really want also as a speaker to condemn, because we must condemn it when there is a set-up date, either an ordinary council meeting or a special council meeting. Councillors must be communicated on time and agendas must be delivered on time. I cannot support that where councillors are bombarded by agendas very late, because our business here is to play an oversight, read thoroughly the items so that we can take serious decisions soberly. So really what you have raised, Councillor Nel, I also condemn, and I believe that the administration is listening, and I think they won't be doing that again. Yes, Councillor Pusa.
Speaker, I understand that you have condemned now the late come of the agenda in the last minute, because there is not enough time to go through the agenda, especially now. It's a norm that in every council meeting we are receiving addendums, which we must peruse in two or three minutes. And also going back to the item which has been taken to the in-committee, I also feel that it is unfair for the public, for our communities, because that tender, that was a public tender, that a process that was published for everyone to participate in that process. Then it is for this community to know what is happening on that airport, because it is of their benefit. They must also know what is happening. So to take that item and be in committee to be discussed behind closed doors, that is unfair for the people that were serving this term of Bedenville. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillors, I'm proposing that we deal with the matter, the business of the day, and immediately before we go to in committee, we sit down as councillors. Can I plead with that? Let's finish up the business, that is the open council meeting, and immediately, because really what you are raising is something that we must discuss. Because ever since we got in, the information about the airport, I can't say it is wrong that the item must be brought in council, because as council, we must know about the airport. Almost, I can say 50 or 60% of councillors don't know about the information of the airport, see? And I'm not going to put the MM at the spotlight by answering now, because we do have the business of the day. He must give answers why then it is in committee, you see. So as a speaker, the information about the airport to me is that I don't know it. Then therefore, I must be taken first, you see. I don't want to defend the in-committee thing legally, so, and the MM can explain why they took that item to be in committee. So let's move on to our items. And then I will give a space for you councillors to dwell on that.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Let's continue. First item.
The first item is item 6/2020/06/24 Municipal Public Accounts Committee report on irregular expenditure of 16 January to 30 June 2023, page 36.
The item is serving. Councillor Mhlala.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Good morning to everyone. I want to go with the recommendations.
Seconder, Councillor Swap.
If I recall correctly, in previous items that of a similar nature, also said to prevent institutions falling into arrears again, that we install prepaid meters or smart meters. Maybe include that in the recommendation.
I think
No, the
item ahead,
Sorry.
impact report.
Yeah.
Signature.
Thanks, Councillor. Next item.
We would like to deal with the addendum that deals with the interview outcomes now. So therefore, we will move in the addendum will come last, then moving to section 2, which is section finance. First item is item C/2/213/06/24 request for a real write off as per customer request. 5389 and 4669 qualified to 120.
Item serving. Councillor Mhlala.
Go with the recommendations, Speaker.
Councillor Swap.
Thank you, Speaker. Yeah, as I said earlier, quickly in the wrong item. With the previous items of a similar nature, we've written off that we've said that the prepaid meters or smart meters be installed to prevent the same thing from happening. I'd like to add that to the recommendation for this as well.
Recommendation for It's a recommendation by the executive mayor, point 5.
Yes.
Point 4.
For electricity.
Smart water meter system be installed on Parawara.
Yes.
Yes.
It's there.
So that's for water meter.
Yes.
Electricity also there. See, that's what happens when you get things like we only got the mayor's recommendation like last night, just before midnight.
Right, seconder.
Seconded, Chair.
Councillor Mitchell, seconded. Next item.
Moving to section 3 corporate services. The first item is item C/3/202/06/24 occupational health and safety activities report for the month of May 2024 by 131.
The item is serving. Councillor Smith.
Motion to go with the recommendations.
Councillor Swap.
Thank you, Speaker. It's not the first time this report's coming up where managers have not acted on things. And while I agree there must be punitive measures, I think to allow 60 days for it to be compliant for matters that should have been compliant is too long. I think that needs to be amended to 30 days because a lot of these should be worked on. Some of these reports come along a few months already where there's been accident. So to still now give 60 days to be compliant to things that should have been compliant already, I think that's too long. I think we need to make that 30 days.
Yes. Councillor Mhlala.
Yeah, some of these issues are as a result of procurement. I'll make an example of fire extinguisher, where a process is to go through supply chain, those to be relooked at. So I think the 60 days is just that we need to follow up or the health of the must do a follow-up constant. I think 30 days will be much shorter.
You want to?
Yes, please, Speaker. I agree with that if we were getting feedback, but in some instances, there's not even feedback that maybe says there's a problem in supply chain or we're waiting for orders. So I don't go with that argument. There should have been feedback. If the manager at least gave feedback, it would be fine. But in some of those, the manager's not even given feedback. And also point 3, it refers to 3 above, but I think it must be another number because that is point 3, the third recommendation.
No, Councillor Swartz, I agree with you. We must get feedback at all times, periodically, so we must get feedback. Councillor?
Chair, I just want to raise that process of the progress that is in the report coming from. We did address the progress of time and we also looked into the Java Safety Office. There's an officer in the whole office. We're going to start in the office to see what we can do to better report. And if there needs to be without being that office, we're going to do that. Thank you.
Thanks. The second?
I will second, but I just want to comment that there is an important addition or a proposal that on that, and that is that the acting MM or the MM be permitted to institute disciplinary processes if these items are not dealt with within the given time. And I just hope that we note that and make work of that in particular.
Next item.
Item C/3/20/06/24, Employee Wellness and Satisfaction Survey Feedback Report, page 140.
The item is serving. Councillor Swan?
Thank you, Speaker. There seems to be some inconsistencies in this report because it talks about a response of 38%, I think it is. So, you can just go to the. I think it says there's something that 38% of the municipality responded. If we go through various of the items that it's spoken about, they talk about a percentage of respondents, then they talk about percentages of employees. So if you say that 50% of employees didn't agree to something, that is different to 50% of respondents. And that permeates through the whole report. So if 38% of people responded, 50% of those people were unhappy about something, it's only 15% of all employees, not 50% of all employees. So we've got these consistencies throughout the report that I think need to be corrected, which affect some of the conclusions. Because if 60% of people disagree with something, of all the employees, it's fine. But if 60% of 40% agree, then it's less than 20% of the municipality. So there's these inconsistencies through the report that also refer to the decisions. So I'd actually like this to be referred back to be corrected and to come back to council. It's my proposal. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillors? Councillor DM?
Thank you, Speaker. I'm just curious to know if we refer back, does it mean it refers back that the survey must start from scratch so as to satisfy the statistics that is being looked from the councillor? Or what does it mean that it must be referred back? Because as we know that it's stats, all of us will know that some people, they answer on some cases, some they don't, some they respond. So there's no way that when we say it's stats, we always say we've got a perfect way of calculating it and whatever. So if it means now this stats that is here, it's not satisfying according to what a councillor perceives it, does it mean that should we be referred back to go and start afresh to do a survey or start afresh to give a spare understanding of his?
Councillor?
Yeah, Speaker, I want to suggest that we note the report as council with inconsistencies as noted by Councillor Swartz, so that because we are not going to start the report, the process afresh, but there can be corrections in the next council when we get the similar report, then there are corrections at it.
That's what I agree with that. All right. Second.
I will second it, Chair.
Thank you, councillors.
Sorry,
Yes, ma'am.
I know the item is closed, but It's 38 participation.
Mm.
It's not 38% of the employees. It's because you sent out to all, but there was participation over the size. That's the people.
It's percentage.
Yeah, your response was about 38%. So you work it on that. So from that 38%, you still need to calculate 100%. And then when you make your assumption, it is 50% of that 100% who responded. It's not, then you can't go back to say you sent out so many because you've already discarded the fact that only 30% have participated in your responses. I think that is what we just need to keep in mind when you read the percentages, because the percentages still has to refer as if 100% has responded, but it's 100% of the 38% that have participated in the survey.
Thank you, MM. Thank you, Acting MM. The second to the item.
Very second.
Oh,
Has been.
thank you. Next item.
Section 4. Item C/4/199/06/24. Report on the sports master plan for critical-based sporting facilities, page 156.
The item is serving. Councillor Msano.
We go with the recommendations, Speaker.
Councillor Prasad.
Seconded, Speaker.
You.
Moving to section 5. Item C/5/151/06/24 capital project implementation plan monthly progress report for period ending May 2024, page 256.
The item is serving. Councillor Msano.
Go with the recommendations, Speaker.
Councillor Mish.
Seconded, Chair.
Thank you.
Moving to section 6, planning and development, item C/6/140/06/24, page 263, the upgrading of parking area on remainder of number 2066 Plettenberg Bay.
The item is serving. Councillor Mngab. Yeah.
Thank you, Speaker. So that we go with the recommendation, and we also applaud the fact that the directors, they always have something to say to the item because they give us more, they open our eyes more and make us a decision to be. So you can see that in those recommendations, the comments that were done by the Director of Engineering, opening our eyes, made us to go and put it as part of our recommendation, adding them to the recommendation of our acting MP. So in that, we go with those recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Before I second the item, I want us to note that on the item, we are given a brief background and an intention from Milkwood Manor that they will extend their units. However, that history is just a background. It is not to say the item is actually about their extension. Meaning, now that they're actually extending, now that they're actually renewing this parking area, it's obviously on their cost, and they will have ablution facilities there, which means they will be expected to pay augmentations. Now, I'm not making this note so that when we table again an item around them doing that extension, which means there's going to be additional units, that separate augmentations must be mentioned as well. Because I don't want us to mince the item such that the next time they're actually submitting their building plans and doing the actual extension, now there's blurred lines around augmentations that were paid. The augmentations that we are referring to here are the ones for the ablution facilities at the parking area that they're actually extending and renewing. Another note that must be made, in as much as they are doing it from their own funds, it must meet the standard at which we operate under as per the standards of our engineering, because it would be pointless for them to do something that is actually beneath our standard that will require us to actually redo it. With that being said, I support the recommendations.
Thank you, Councillor Mangaba. Next time you must not raise your hand first, ne? And drop your hand. Next item.
The next item is item C/6/144/06/24, shed farming in wards with informal settlement, page 271.
The item is serving.
Speak out.
Councillor Mangaba.
With the recommendations.
Second, Councillor Mhlanga.
Yeah, before I second, Chair, I don't know whether it's take on recommend this on my, I don't know whether it's changed there. On my thing is recommendation by municipal manager, acting municipal manager ×2. Wanna go down, Chair?
So as per the chief just read recommendation by the strategic survey of the municipal for forest commission.
Oh, yeah, it's.
Second.
Second, yeah. 27.
Councillor Mhlanga has seconded, not so. Yes, okay. Next item.
This is item C/145/06. Ebenezer portion 25. Ebenezer portion 2025 vacant service site, page 282.
Item is serving. Councillor Mangaba.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm actually excited. I'm excited about the item. In fact, part of me feels like singing Umhlaba wonke esandleni ezandleni. However, Speaker, we know exactly that we have a longer list of people waiting for housing. And for the longest of time, it's always been a push or an effort that we are making as council to ensure that we diversify our offer, because we know a lot of people that are actually on that longer list of over 2,000 people waiting for housing are people who are not within the RTP bracket. So we had spoken lengthily about diversifying the offer, and it's exciting that now there's actually plots that are serviced already, that are augmented already, that there's actually a building plan by the municipality that is actually ready already. And now, if this is not a benefit to our people, I don't know what benefit is. So I'm excited that even in the recommendations, we've added that people that must be considered are people in the waiting list and people that have not benefited previously from our housing. And which will mean we are really taking care of our people that are actually sitting, and we know exactly when it comes to allocation, they are not going to be allocated RTP houses. With that being said, Speaker, I support each and every recommendation that we tabled in my portfolio meeting.
Second, Councillor Swan.
Recommendations, what I'd just like to see, possibly in terms of recommendation 5, if we're trying to stop informal housing structures, maybe we should add in there that any additional structures to the main building needs to be done with authorized plans from the municipality. And at least law enforcement or anyone that wants to enact it has got something to work with in terms of a regulation, rather than just informal housing structures to be built. It just formalizes and keeps the area then the way it's intended. So I'm just saying maybe that amendment to recommendation.
The wording.
Yeah, for wording to say any additional structures need to have authorized building plans from.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor.
I think that's coming from the right place.
Councillor Michel. Councillor Michel. This meeting was moving. Next item.
Councillor, we go into item 6/6/146/02/24, Please go to your agenda one as amended report was circulated on page 89 on the agenda.
Which one?
The item is 7.
The last one.
Councillor Kamkam?
The testimony is for you might just start.
Order, councillors.
Not being recognized.
Order, councillors. You are fighting with this item. It's great if you are fighting with support in. Councillor Kamkam? I've called you Councillor Kamkam.
Councillor Kamko?
Oh, I was interrupted.
I would say once.
I'm your favorite.
Thank you very much for being impartial and without fear and favor. I support this recommendation very much.
Councillor Pusago?
Seconded, Speaker.
Thank you.
We already support.
Councillor Swam?
It doesn't matter.
Comment, other items closed. But it's sad that a member of the community needs to pay to lease property, cannot fix our service. That's essentially what's happened here. And it's a measure that the resident of that property needs to take, stick to the property from being flooded or sewage.
Yes, DM?
Can I get into that? The application was asking for that, but the first recommendation that came to our portfolio, it was a matter of that planning and development acknowledged the fact that it's because of the services where they were making a commitment that in a space of 2 years, they'll be done with it. After we've recommended that, the same person now came back, said that she's still standing staunchly that she wants the 9 year. So I'm trying to say we're so considerate about this because let's not put the burden in air, but at least the municipality will take a responsibility. So some of the things they are beyond us. It's something of the planning that was done in those communities. Somewhere, somehow, people will take the knob. But as I'm saying that we were not there for that till she came back and said she's not happy. She has conservatively wanted 9 years, 11 months, and of which with that, what else? Thank you.
Are we not excited, councillors, that one of our own, as a leader of the community, is taking charge? And really, I was fearing that it can't be one of us. Why? Is there something that we must look at it and put a telescope on it? But I found out that she is playing her role in the community. That is a very good initiative that she has taken. With that spirit, councillors, you will do that whenever you see in your community, take charge and push, because we've got powers, and push it in council so that we can move with speed in delivering to our communities. Thank you so much. Councillor Swart seconded the item, not so.
Councillor Pusago.
Councillor Pusago. You were 3, so I was yes about it. You can call Councillor Ndai. Next item.
Fury like a woman scorned, remember that.
Next item.
One, Office of Municipal Management. The item circulated as item 1. First item will be item C/1/2/1/06/24. The interview outcomes in the appointment process for the position of Director of Public Services noted 87 of 2024-3.
The item is serving. Councillor Michelle.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I would just want to ask, the candidates is numbered. Yeah. So if we can, if it is possible, if we can just put the names on there, because we have numbers now there. And if we can see the candidates.
Amen.
If it is in the law.
Yes, I will have seen that in committee as it's against Poppy Act restrictions, so. If we.
Can you put it on the screen?
Mr. Speaker, normally I wanted the item to be in committee. But I was informed that in Bitou that item is open. The reason being that is that some of the attachments is got people's names in it and ID numbers and things like that. So because there are screening reports, that is why my initial thing was to do it in committee. We can, I mean, everybody would know when the decision is taken, who is appointed and that. But I think if we make that information, because remember in our advert, we also indicated that we will deal with the applicant's information confidentially. So that was one of the reasons. So what we can then do, if allowed, Speaker, to deal with these two items also in committee, and then we show, because to screen that now live means is that compromise, and that's why we have candidates. There are names to the candidates there. So maybe if it can assist if we can screen only the long list. I don't know.
Councillor Kamba.
Thank you, Speaker. The MM touched on what I wanted to say. We received the long list, even if it was late. So because some of us are not fortunate, to have privileged information. So we actually had to make an effort to go through that long list, look at the numbers, because there was a long list, there was a short list, there was the interview results with the numbers of the candidates. So I actually had to cross-reference and say who's number 18, who's number 9, for my own understanding. So I don't have to sit here and mention people's name. I can say number 18 because I did do the research. I can say number 9 or number 8. I know who number 8 is. So I don't think we've got an excuse for that. We can screen, but I'm totally strongly objecting against this item being in committee. Strongly, I'm objecting against it. Because as I say, we received the relevant information. We are supposed to read up and check the numbers if we are concerned about it. That's not an excuse to move an item to in committee. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm also of the objection that this item has come as a public agenda, so it must be dealt in that way. And I'm also happy that the MM has been reminded how we do things in Bitou. When things are concerning the public, it must be viewed and be listened by the public, especially when it comes to funds that are coming to this town. Just exactly like the airport item, MM. It also that item, I hope that you were also reminded that we do things public in Bitou that belongs to the public. Thank you.
Yeah, I was still on the floor, Speaker. But I respect the input. Councillor Neil, I'm still on the floor.
Councillor Neil.
I want to try to help, Speaker. I want to propose that he asks for a 5-minute focus to read and study the thing, acquaint himself. And then we can take.
Wait, Councillor Neil. Still on the floor.
Speaker, then I will go with the recommendation number 1 to appoint candidate number 18. With that, Speaker, I want to go to under the recommendation number 3. If number 18 is then not successful, we want to re-advertise and not go with that recommendation stated as number 3. And then I want to add also number 5, that this director, successful director, must be paid according to what all the directors is being paid. Thank you.
Councillor Deputy Executive Mayor.
I therefore second the recommendations that has been read. Councillor Michelle.
What councillors were proposing that they want the long list. Can we do that?
Why? Is it not in this one?
I don't have a shorter version.
Speaker, don't.
Councillor Mtana, I've noticed. Councillor Mtana?
I think you just give us the name of the person.
Councillor Mtana?
Yeah, Speaker, thank you very much. I just want to remind the council, I know, Speaker, you are generous and you would want or you would like the meeting to flow. But I think one of the issues that we must remind ourselves on is that there are rules. And I see now there are frivolous requests, this request, that, but there are rules that are guiding the council meeting. So if there are those requests and those requests are supported by rules, let's apply the rules. And a councillor must quote the rules. Otherwise, we are going to degenerate. Thank you, Speaker.
Councillor Kamkam?
Thank you, Speaker, for finally giving me a chance because I actually had my hand up. And Councillor Mitchell was still speaking. Councillor Speaker, I am strongly objecting against the appointment of candidate number 18, as stated in the summary that we got. Why the candidate was implicated in something. So I am strong. I'm not going to mention it here for the sake of, but I am strongly objecting. I want to raise an objection. I'm voting against the appointment of candidate number 18. Thank you. Okay.
Councillor Pusap?
Speaker, I, Mavis Busakwe, I'm supporting candidate number 8 because
Candidate number?
Number 10. To number 8 mistake. I did the mistake supporting number 18. That's what I'm saying. It said 8, of which that's a mistake. You're supposed to say 8.
I am supporting the candidate who has got the most high score there. Is Speaker, I just want to say I am supporting the candidate who's got the highest score as per the results of the interview.
All right, councillors. There are councillors who supported and the ones who have objected. Yes, good.
Is what I have heard. Item has been closed. It was proposed and seconded. The issues that was raised there was after the second of the item. So I just need to know if we are still on the item because I've heard seconded. It means that item is closed.
No, we did not get an opportunity. We raise our hands. We raise us.
Councillors, there's nothing difficult here, Executive Mayor. Let me sort it out. There's nothing difficult here. I am going to remind councillors again that yes, there was a proposer and a seconder. And moreover, there was an objector. Yeah. Somebody objected on the other side. Councillor Musakwa also again seconded. So what I'm going to do, because Councillor Kamkam has objected. Councillor Ndai, I'm giving Councillor Ndai now because I want to see what's happening here.
Yes, we want to see what's happening.
Yes.
Let me tell you. I'm not supporting number 18, Speaker. I'm not going to repeat what Councillor Kamkam says because it's written here why he left this municipality on red. And I'm very surprised now that this number 18 is supported by the majority. I can say that. And then therefore, even the majority.
Hey, Councillor, I've heard you. Councillors, let's go for a vote. Those who are
of impact chair that he raised this.
Now, councillors, listen, as I have explained, that there was a proposer and a second, and immediately after that, there was no counter proposal on this. Councillor Kamkam came late, you see, and Councillor Pusak. So then, therefore, the item is in force, and we are going with the recommendations that the candidate number 18 go to the recommendations.
Because we
according to the long list,
Yes.
number 18 is Mr. Lollibe. So recommendation 1 will then be that council appoints Mr. Lollibe in the position of Director of Corporate Services on a permanent basis, subject to concurrence from the MSA of local government.
Thank you very much. The item is closed.
Jessica Marie, I am against this recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. The item is closed. Next item.
Speaker, I also want to record my objection against the procedures were not followed.
We were not given, there was an alternative proposal, we have not voted. You suggested.
I suggest that we stick to that.
The item is closed. The item is closed.
Speaker.
We are raising our objection.
Okay.
Don't stop us. No, give us a chance, Speaker. Give us a chance. And then you saw my hand and Councillor Kamkam. Speaker, you saw our hands. Myself and Councillor Kamkam, our hands.
And I, Councillor Kamkam, the item.
No,
Can we?
but give us a chance to report ourselves. No, we're not supporting. We must.
No, councillors. All of you, no, drop your hands, please. Drop your hands, please. Drop your hands. We are done with the item. We are moving to the next item.
Hey, Allah, last question. Aye, Speaker. Speaker, you are not the Speaker. You are totally wrong. You are wrong. Speaker, you are totally wrong. You are really totally wrong.
No, there is no voting in this item because no, you objected later. There was a proposer and a second. Yes. No.
You guys do the same thing with the budget. You guys do the same thing with the budget. Why do the same thing here? But you act like you didn't see us. You didn't see us.
No. Okay.
Say, I can now this thing is making a noise, and when an item is proposed and seconded, it is closed. But in this instance, before the one who was seconding, there was hand.
I raised my hands.
Unfortunately, you missed it. No, so there's no harm for you, Speaker, asking nicely to vote.
Precisely.
Because nothing is gonna change. It's gonna change.
Okay.
The one objecting will object, and the one who's voting.
Okay. Councillor. Okay, councillors. I heard you. You raise your, drop your hand, Councillor, sir.
Aye.
Now, let me put it this way. Let's go for a vote because they are the ones who are supporting it and the ones who are objecting. Let me start with Councillor Swartz. Record what you want to say. Councillor Swartz?
Say what I wanted to say first.
No. We're voting now. Yes, Councillor Pusabo?
I, Ms. Fungi Pusake, is voting for the candidate number 18.
Councillor Nell?
Councillor Nell, record my vote against the.
Councillor Kamkam?
In Kamkam, I'm voting against this proposal. Thank you.
Councillor Ndai?
And I is voting against this proposal of number 18. Thank you.
Councillor Olifield?
Olifield is against.
Councillor,
Thank you very much, Speaker. I'm worried that you didn't recognize my hand because
sorry, Councillor, there was.
I can say what I think about this.
We are voting now, Councillor.
No, order.
This is what was said to Councillor.
No, Councillor Msana, please.
Mtana. What was said to Councillor Mtana? Just
Councillor said, no, Councillor, please.
the chance the speaker.
Councillor Bisago, please. Councillor Seti. Councillor Seti.
As a councillor in this council, I have a right to raise my views anytime.
Anyone has the right to raise views. Say as a councillor.
Councillors, please. Councillor Seti, please. Councillor Seti.
As a right.
Councillor Seti.
Okay, Speaker. I move. I am voting, please. I don't even have water.
You don't need what you want, some coffee.
I am also going with the recommendation of Mr. Lodiwe.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Mtana.
Mtana, vote for the recommendation number 18.
Councillor Bitou propose and vote favor number 18.
Councillor, follow up with the deputy executive mayor.
It goes all those recommendations that yeah, for Mr. Loliwe Lofoya.
Councillor, executive mayor.
I vote in favor of the recommendation.
Councillor Mangaba.
Aye. Timlibe Samkele, Aloneto, Lamla Mangaba. For the recommendations for appointing Loliwe Lofoya.
Councillor Michelle, please, man. Please. Councillor Michelle, please. Councillor Pangab.
I don't have, I've got false.
Have you captured? All right, Councillor Kabai supports the candidate number 18 in these recommendations entirely so. Thank you. Yes?
So we have 8 votes for the recommendation of appointing Mr. Loliwe and 5 against the recommendation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Speaker.
Easy, no?
Easy.
Next item.
Please record what I'm.
Next item.
It's C/1/232/06/24. The income outcomes in appointment process for the position of director plan measured by notice 86 of 2024, page 8.
Deputy Speaker, I would love us to change recommendation number 3 as it's saying that if the preferred candidate does not accept the offer of employment, the municipal manager be authorized to re-advertise the position because we want the person who's number 1 as she is, and also to add the item number 5 that says that she needs to be reimbursed and paid as per what the other directors have been paid. With that, I'm supporting the recommendations that the added ones.
Speaker. When we have proposed seconders, that you clearly acknowledge it. I did not hear the seconding in the previous item at all.
I seconded.
That's what may have caused confusion we had.
I seconded.
So in future, if you can acknowledge it, then it makes it clearer for everyone. That everyone wanted to comment.
Okay, Councillor.
I seconded the item we are just on that is proposed by Deputy Mayor Noxola Folwell.
Anyone who objects?
Thank you, Speaker. Once again, I didn't make my mind up after. Who are we appointing? I didn't hear a number.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a name.
It's number 9, Mrs. Bergman, talking about that.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker,
It's number 8, not 9, sorry. 8.
Speaker, I am not in support of number 8 being appointed as strategic services. My reasons I want to state clearly that I think that specific, if I look at the qualifications, that specific candidate is more suited for current system. I am against this recommendation for that reason.
Councillor Nell?
Because of the, I agree fully. In fact, it is known in council, I've been saying long time ago that position that is required to be filled requires somebody with business acumen, somebody with a financial background, somebody that can help with business development. The person that is being proposed here does not possess that qualifications, has served in that department as a junior official for some time, and that's the only qualification that that person had. That person is more suitable to the corporate services position than incumbent. So I definitely record my disappointment.
All right, councillors, again, there are those who are in for and against. Now let's go for a vote. Those who are in support. Councillor Manglaba, let me start with you. Those who are in support.
Supporting the recommendations. That's the outcome.
Councillor Sid.
Councillor Seti is supporting the recommendations of the case.
Councillor Msana.
I support the recommendation number
8.
number 8.
Councillor Michelle.
In support of recommendations in number 8.
Deputy Executive Mayor.
I support as I've proposed it.
Executive Mayor.
Supported candidate number 8 is the highest scoring person.
Councillor Swa.
Speaker, I do not support candidate number 8 in this position.
Councillor Pusa.
I may respond to support number 8.
Councillor Nell.
I vote against appointment of number 8.
Councillor Kamkam.
I say again, I'm voting against the appointment of number 8 in the specific position.
Councillor Ndai.
I'm voting against appointment of number 8, Speaker.
Councillor Phil.
I don't support number 8 in this position.
I support recommendation and that are saying the council appoints number 8 in the position of strategic director for planning and development as the Speaker of Council. I'm in support. Thank you. Many.
The purposes, Mr. Speaker, can I therefore just call out the results of the voting in support of candidate number 8 in the appointment of the position director of corporate service is
Planning.
Sorry. The council appoints candidate number 8, which is Mrs. Tanya Maureen Bergerman, in the position of Director of Planning and Development on a permanent basis, subject to concurrence from the MEC of Local Government. The voting results is in support of the appointment is Councillor Manglaba, Councillor Seti, Councillor Manslana, Councillor Mitchell, Councillor Konowari, Councillor Kirtan, Councillor Bosakwe, and the Speaker, Councillor Kapai. Against the recommendation is Councillor Pat, Councillor Nyal, Councillor Kamkam, Councillor Ndai, and Councillor Olivier.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chess. You are done with that item.
I just want to say whether amendments of amending recommendation 3 that if not accepted, it be re-advertised and that the remuneration package be as proposed are paid other paid directors.
Thank you very much. Yes. Let's move.
The next item is item C/1/2, 33/06/24. Performance agreements for the senior managers directly accountable to the municipal manager, page 13.
The item is serving. Page 13. Councillor Swart.
Thank you. If we can just performance agreement for the director of community services. I think there's taken the years in the first kind of opening. Just up there, like it says 1st of July 2022 to June 23. Should that not be 24?
Yes, Amen. Oh, going to be fixed. Thank you very much. Are you supporting the item? Again, that's
Second, Speaker.
thanks, Executive Mayor. Next item.
Mr. Speaker, that deals with the open items for discussion. We will now go back to the audio business.
All right.
I'm from point.
Okay, thank you so much. Councillors who are on point 11 now, urgent matters submitted by the municipal manager, none received. Number 12, consideration of notices of motion, none received. Number 13, consideration of notices of question, none received. Number 14, consideration of motions of exigency, none received. Number 15, in committee matters, 15.1, confirmation of minutes in committee circulated with councillors. I think let's have a break of 10 minutes before we start our in committee.
I thought we were going to discuss the issues that we raised in the beginning before we start.
Maybe that's what 15 minutes is for.
Yeah.
There's no negotiation.
No, that's what I agreed upon. Yeah.